my story began, there is a clear and profound history of dreams and struggles found in both my parents' lives. My parents had to migrate from Mexico to the United States in order to support their families economically. They deeply longed to break the cycle of generational poverty found in their own experiences and sufferings. This hope and dream was embodied in both my brothers and I. My parents clearly understood that by us being born in the United States, we were going to have privileges that they could never have or they could never attain. As a first generation poor Mexican American, I had experiences that began to mold who I was becoming early in my life. One of those experiences was being an ESL student. As a native-born American ESL student, I began to unconsciously question myself. Was I inferior to my mainstream peers? Was I Mexican, American, or in between? Could I ever attain a sense of power and respect in a school environment? This questioning and other socioeconomic factors led me to find my identity in negative ways. These negative ways brought about a biased attitude towards education and an acceptance of vain and superficial concepts of power. I remember the time when my mother came crying to school to speak to my teachers about the academic and social problems I was having there. I wanted to say to her that I did not belong, that school was not for me. To desperately share how I felt powerless and insecure about failing, that I was tired of having people look down upon me as if I were a second-class student. I wanted to share that I knew how teachers spoke about me behind my back, and how their sarcastic comments about how these kids don't learn made me feel. Yet, I was a young Latino and pride was instilled in me, which meant that sharing my emotions was not commonly practiced. After exiting the ESL program by the time I had made it to high school, I remember getting straight Fs and being suspended from school many times. Unlike many of my friends going through this identity crisis, I was fortunate of having a few mentors and teachers help me find the motivation and the self-confidence I needed to find my place in a school environment. My hope is that talking about these struggles will challenge us to rethink policies that have unintended consequences, leading to segregation and a sense of inferiority.